Welcome to Angular routing. In this section, I'm going to teach you how to apply animation between routes. You will also learn how to use the router events. Let's talk about what are router events and how can we implement the router events. I'll also teach you how to implement animations between routes. You will learn how to implement route transition. In this video, I'm going to focus on router events. What are router events? Why do we need them? And how can you implement the router events in Angular application? When you navigate from one page to another page, or when you navigate from one URL to another URL, Angular router emits the events. So these are all the navigation events. You can access all these events from the router.events property. You can also access or subscribe to any specific event. Let me show you all these events. I have opened the Angular documentation. You can see the navigation start. This event will be triggered when navigation starts. You can see the route config load. The main point is that you can access any event using the router.event property. If you want to apply any function on this event, let's say if routes recognized event has emitted, you can perform any operation. In this video, I'm going to use the navigation start, navigation cancel, and navigation end event. Guard check start event triggered when the router begins the guard phase. Activation start, resolve start. You can review that. Navigation end, activation end, navigation cancel. An event triggered when navigation is cancelled. An event triggered when navigation ends successfully. An event triggered when navigation fails due to unexpected error. So these are all the useful events. So how can you apply the router events? If you open the application, first of all, you have to add the delay. You can add delay by using the pipe and delay for 2 seconds. The use case of router events, I can add the loading indicator. Now it will take 2 seconds to fetch the post. If you want to see all these events, I've already added the enable tracing line inside the app routing. Now you can see all the events. It is used for debugging. Enable tracing will log all the events. I'm going to cancel that. Now you will see all the events. I want to show you navigation start event. You can see that the /login. Routes recognized. This event has emitted. Guards check start has emitted. You can view all the events here. Activation start, guards checked end, resolve start, resolve end. These are all the useful events. Here we can see navigation end. So I'm going to log in and now you will see the /post event. So you can debug all the events here. But I want to show you the loading indicator. I would like to view all the posts. Now you can see that the loading here. Now I do not need to apply the loading indicator in any component. Like, let's say I do not need to apply the loading inside the post detail or to-dos detail. What I'm gonna do, I'm gonna add the loading indicator inside the app component. So this is the perfect use case for router events. If you open the source code, you will see this code. I have injected the router service. Here we have router events. You can subscribe to any event. I'm subscribing to router event. It will give me the router event. The type is event. I can access the type from the router package. And now I have created the helper function, check router event. I have passed the event. Here, if navigation is started, then I have to enable the loading indicator. If either of these events, then we need to stop the loading indicator. I just showed the loading dash 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 loading, but if you are building the real world application, you can display a real or fantastic loading bar. If navigation is going to end or has completed, then we have to stop the loading bar. If there is an error, we also need to stop the loading bar. So what I'm going to do, I'm going to put some breakpoint here. I'm going to put debugger. I'm also going to put debugger here. Let's put debugger here. Now you can see that it has stopped at this breakpoint. First of all, it has subscribed to this event. I got the router event. Now it has stopped at this event. Navigation has started. The instance should be the navigation start. And you can see the loading bar here. It will stop, do again and again. Now you will see the loading bar. When navigation will be finished, it will set this loading to false. Let me show you. Now you can see that it has stopped. So this is how router events will work. One thing I also want to show you inside the app component.html, I've used this simple div here. Here you can replace any loading indicator. I'm gonna log in. Because I have set the timer or delay inside the post service, it will take 2 seconds. So I'm going to log in. You can see that a little bit loading indicator here. A little bit loading here. You can display the loading bar here. Let's review what we have done. We have got the events from the router.events property. Here I'm checking the event type. If navigation has started, then we need to set the loading indicator to true. If navigation has cancelled or ended, or if there is an error, then we need to stop the loading indicator. I just use a simple div here. And we also added a delay for the get post for 2 seconds.